doing? Hope all is going well. Obviously we won, right? At the end of the day, that's probably the thing I look forward to the most, right? Is a win, right? No matter how you got it. Really was intrigued by the game. The only thing I didn't like was the last drive. You know, they picked up they converted 3 third downs that last drive. Had a bunch of young bucks play throughout the game, right? Guys had to step up, but you take away that last drive, and I'm probably a little bit in a much better spirit outside of that last drive. I thought the guys competed. I thought they fought hard. Guys was fighting through some illnesses. They battled. The teams have found ways to triple team Johnny Newton, which I'm surprised they took to game 4, game 3 to do it. And so I'm sure we're going to continue to see that, which means other guys have to step up. But at the end of the day, I'm excited we got the win. We're going to continue to see more younger guys step up and really good roles for us. And so that's what I'm most excited about. And we start conference play, like everything that we want is still in front of us, and so it's a matter of preparing for our opponent who's ahead of us in Purdue and trying to go out there and be 1-0.
Aaron, with the injuries in the secondary, whatever they may be for this company, what are the growth steps for some of those younger guys, Toby, Kareem, all the others got in?
Absolutely. So we kind of go through this a little bit during spring ball and during fall camp. We move guys around a lot for these exact potential issues, you know. We try guys at different positions, right? We move them around. We ended up putting them in their home spot, but the reason why we don't call them safeties or corners, we call them DBs, because the way our system is set up for guys to play multiple positions. And obviously had some guys go down at safety, right? Had some guys go down at corner. And so just continuing with these young guys coming along, man, making the game really, really easy for them, so they can go out there and just play fast. You guys saw a lot of young guys come in and play. Zach Toby was a prime candidate of that, and he had been waiting for that opportunity for so long, and it just so happened it was against FAU. He stepped up and embraced the challenge, and you saw a thing of beauty come out of it. You know, he made some really, really good plays, some things he can clean up, but that's just part of our system. You know, we're turning out DBs for a reason, because we teach them multiple spots, and hopefully we don't have guys continue to go down, but if it does happen, we have the flexibility within our system to, whether it's move a guy out or move a guy in and rotate a guy, you know, whatever we can do to put us in the best position to win at the end of the day. And so we have a lot of flexibility to do that in our secondary.
You said there would be a time young guys got to step up. What stood out about Toby and Sabur?
Well, Toby didn't blink an eye, you know. Like, I coach some young guys hard, man. Like, I'm on them hard, because I know what's to come. Like, a practice setting is one thing, but when the game comes, like, it ain't no, like, I can't prepare you for that in the manner of people in the stands and the team you're playing against. And so he had been waiting on that moment for so long, man. As you can see, he was the opportunity came, and he looked it in the face and did what he was supposed to do. And so Coach Vanellis has done a tremendous job in getting them prepared for it. And, you know, we preach that all off season, you know. We preach doing your job, no matter when it's going to be, you know. And so some guys have had a lot more reps early on, and as the season kind of progresses, guys are going to continue to take reps. And so we always talk about taking advantage of the opportunity when it presents itself. And I think Toby was a prime example of that. Obviously, Sapor, right? He had some things he did really well. He had some things he got to work on, right? And so I was really ecstatic to see moments in the game with him coming a hand close to either making an interception or getting a PBU. Like, he did some really good stuff. Obviously, he's still a work in progress, just like all those young guys are. And so I'm really, really excited that we were able to get him in those environments this past Saturday, and we were able to win and learn from it, as opposed to the latter, you know.
Coach, you put a lot of trust in Xavier Scott going one-on-one against LeJontay or Western. Was there some consideration to double that guy? Or?
Oh, yeah, we doubled him every third down, all right? We doubled him every third down. If I could do it over again, I probably would have had a better plan to double him on early downs, right? Just the way they did a great job of utilizing them. Kudos to their coaching staff and putting them in the backfield and sending them in motion so we couldn't get a beat on where he was at. But their coaching staff did a tremendous job, and he's a really good player. I know he's at FAU, but I mean, that kid's a stud, man. Like, that was a tall task for Xavier. For the kid had 100 and some yards, and all of them wasn't on Xavier. We wanted Xavier to follow him most of the time. It was a couple of times Xavier didn't travel with him, and we kind of paid the price for that. So Xavier got an earful from me, right? And so just in terms of what we want, just in terms of how I want things to be done, and he's definitely learned from it. But that wasn't Xavier's best game. He'll tell you that. I'll tell you that. Our coaching staff will tell you that. And so just, I think with him, he's a young player as well. You know what I'm saying? And so being able to learn from these opportunities and experiences, and I know he's going to be better the next game he plays.
And obviously, Zach and Score have a lot of length back there. What does that add to you guys' secondaries with their measurables?
Yeah, man, it definitely helps. You know what I'm saying? I think anytime you got Tobe on the first play he got in, they threw a shot to him down the field. And between him and Miles, he was able to get his hand in the situation just because the good Lord blessed him with long levers, man. He's a long, rangy kid, and just like Sabor, man. And that's something you can't teach, right? You can teach a kid how to backpedal, you can teach him how to flip his hips, right? To a degree, you can teach him how to run, or in the speed in which he runs at. But you can't teach a young man, right, to grow long arms. You know what I'm saying, or have long limbs in general. And so they just bring a different dynamic to our secondary. Obviously, the guys who are ahead of them are just a little bit smaller in stature, but they're all really good players. And so it's just a matter of making sure we're utilizing them in a proper manner because, right, what Toby lacks, and maybe he makes up for it in length, but he may not have the football awareness, just due from his experience that Taz has, right? And Taz plays a little on edge, and I think you have to when you're that size. But I think part of that will just come with the more experience he gets.
When was the last time you talked to Ryan, and what did he mean to you in your development to get to here?
That's my guy, man. That's my guy. I talked to Walt probably like 2 weeks ago. He texted me about the girls. Hope all is going well, man. But that's my dude, man. I know this game isn't about me or him, and I'm excited to play this game. But it's like, obviously credit to Coach B, credit to him. I mean, like, I'm in this position because of both of those guys, man. You know what I'm saying? And so I don't want to make this game about more than what it is, but that's that dude's family to me. Obviously, we're going to have a chance to go and compete against each other, which I'm really ecstatic and excited about. And I know he's the ultimate competitor, just like myself. But, man, we got a great relationship. I know he wants to win just like I want to win. And so the goal is to go out there and try to give them all they can handle, man, from a defensive standpoint. And they got some really good players on that side of the ball. I'm really ecstatic for him because it's an opportunity for him and his family, right, to be a head coach. I know he always had those aspirations, but just to lead a group of young men, with his staff and his team. And so I wish Coach Walt the best, man. I'm really excited for him. But at the end of the day, right, like, outside of it being Coach Walt, like it's a rivalry game. Like this is something bigger than me and Walt and Coach B and Walt. Like, this is a rivalry game. Like you can take all the records, throw them out the window, everything that's happened before, you can get rid of it. And it's been a long history in this game. I do think there's an added element there, obviously, but at the end of the day, anytime you're playing a rivalry game, you expect both the teams to show up full metal jacket.
Sentiment aside, is it harder to scheme a little bit, knowing that they know you and you know them?
I wouldn't say it's harder. I think it's I think you just have to do what you do really, really, really well. Everybody know we play man to man. That ain't no secret, right? Like, that's just what we do. That's how we do it. And the goal going into that game and playing against these guys is how do we match up against them? I think we match up pretty well against them. They got some good wideouts, but I think we got good defensive backs. And so it's going to give us the opportunity to go against some really good talent. Anytime you get in this conference, you're going to play against a plethora of really good wide receivers, and they got talent on that side of the ball, like any other team does, right? Like Toledo had talent on that side of the ball. Kansas had talent on that side of the ball. FAU had talent on that side of the ball. And so now you're going into a stretch of games where everybody's going to have talent. It's just a matter of matching up and doing what you do better than they do what they do. It's going to boil down, at the end of the day, it's going to boil down to fundamentals and technique, right? Fundamentals and technique. Fundamentals and tackling, right? Technique with your eyes, right? The proper adjustments. Can we get aligned properly? And then trying to create takeaways, right? Trying to give our offense more opportunities with taking the ball away, because I don't think we've done that this year enough.
Are you
More-
finding week by week that Kiana is somebody that you can trust more and more as he gets more and more experience?
You said who?
Kiana?
Kanena.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm sorry.
yes, sir. So
Yeah.
I just want to speak to Kanena for a second, man. Like, Kanena's so special because the first couple of weeks he didn't play that much, but I like looking at the TV copy of games as well as the XO's copy of it with no volume, and that dude is like the biggest cheerleader on the sideline, man. Like, he's jumping up for his teammates. He ecstatic for his teammates. He played a lot of reps on Saturday because I felt like that schematically he helps us, and so I wanted to get him out there, and he rose to the challenge, man. He made some plays, dude. I'm like, we got to keep his kid on the field in every capacity that we can do it, and so testament to him never wavering in his confidence and his belief in himself. And I know we live in a society now where a kid doesn't play the first couple of games, the first thing they think about is the portal, right? Or they run to their coach, or that kid came to me and said, "Coach, how can I get better?" Came to this coach and said, "How can I get better?" Right? Give me 1,000 Kanenas, right? Give me 1,000 Kanena Odalugas who they just want to be better at their craft, and when their opportunity comes, they don't waver from it. They walk into it, and they're a great light for the younger guys that are coming behind them. And so I'm ecstatic for Kanena. I'm ecstatic for the guys who are behind him. I'm ecstatic for Kanena moving forward. But I think that's a testament to who that young man is.
I saw Nicario play a little bit more. Okay. What went into that, and what'd you see from him?
My secret weapon, man. I was trying to hold him off into certain games. No, so the way I operate, just from a defensive standpoint, man, it ain't like it could be a new guy in there Saturday. I don't care. I tell the guys, I don't care who's the starter. You got to show me in practice, though, right? And so over the first fall camp and the first handful of practice, first couple weeks, Nicario didn't show me that. He didn't. Like, mental errors, like wasn't doing what he's supposed to do, doing too much. Bro, just do your job every week, coach. What do I need to do to help improve? Just do your job, man. Like, it ain't no secret sauce in it. And his opportunity came. His opportunity came because obviously somebody went down, and it was a rotation there, and I felt like he was going to give us the best opportunity, and he relished in that, man. He never wavered. He's always been a film junkie, but to see him pour into some of the young guys, like he was still like, for a guy to transfer into here, right, don't play immediately. He could have turned his back on the program. He could have cried about not playing. Like, he didn't do that, at least not to me, right? He knew what he needed to work on. He got better every single week and improved, and I think the testament to that was Saturday. I never seen that young man so calm. He is not a calm person. He ain't calm at all. I never seen him so calm on game day, asking questions. Like, he's matured so much in the span of the last 6 months, man. Like, it's incredible how much he's matured, But just the way he's handled himself from an academic standpoint, I think we had an academic report last week. That joker had straight A's, which was not to say he wasn't a straight A student, but I'm telling you, he wasn't a straight A student prior. All right, but to see that gave me a sign that he's taking care of his business off the field, and it just parlayed to the stuff that's on the field. And I think a testament of it is what took place Saturday, right? He was properly aligned. He was making the right calls. He was adjusting. I got on him a little bit because I thought he was going to return that interception to the ex-tackle him, but I mean, he's improved every single week. Now, he still has a long way to go, right? He's not perfect by any means, but I think that's a testament to the program that coach has built, right? Like, we're bringing young men in here, right, who have done things a tad bit different where they were, and now they come in here and they have, it's just different. It's a little more structure. It's a little more this in certain areas, and so just trying to get them to buy into it fast, and I think they have. Right, and I think Nicario's a testament to that, and so I hope he continues to play well. If he continues to play well, I think our defense is going to play well.
Coach, what do you know about Graham Harrell and the scheme? Is it the typical air raid that we've seen at Purdue over the years?
Well, I think it is a typical air raid, but they got two backs who are legit, right? They got two running backs, man, who can hit their head on the goalpost, and so do they want to get the ball out in space and throw it to their guys? Absolutely, and they got some wide receivers, some skilled guys that can take the top off the defense. But I think what makes them a tad bit different is they have some backs that are very, very, very unique, right? They run hard. They try to find vertical seams and spread you out to run it a little bit. And so, obviously, I think Coach Harrell has done a great job with that offense. You know, but it's going to be my job this week to just try to make sure we limit them, right? I think they operate on a lot of explosive plays or getting guys the ball in space and let them do what they got to do. And so it's going to be a fun task this week, man, in a rivalry game to have an opportunity to play against those guys and see how our guys match up, because I do think we match up well against them.